The first night in that house, I heard footsteps walking in the hallway, but I was completely alone. At least, that's what I believed. The place was an old wooden house I had just rented on the edge of town. Cheap, quiet, and far from the noise of the city. When I first walked in that afternoon, it felt normal enough. A little dusty, a little older than I expected, but nothing unusual. But that night, sometime after 2 in the morning, the silence broke. Slow footsteps moved across the hallway floor outside my bedroom door. Not creaks, not pipes, actual footsteps. Careful, measured, like someone was trying not to be heard. At first I stayed in bed, listening, hoping the sound would stop, but it didn't. The footsteps moved slowly from one end of the hallway to the other, then stopped right outside my door. My heart was pounding so loudly I thought whoever was out there could hear it. Finally, I grabbed my phone and opened the door. The hallway was empty. Just a long stretch of wooden floor and an old rug running down the middle. No open windows. No broken locks. Nothing out of place. The house was silent again, but I knew what I had heard, and I knew I hadn't imagined it. The next morning I tried to laugh it off. Old houses make noises. That's what people say. But when I stepped into the hallway, something stopped me. The rug had moved. It used to sit perfectly straight beneath the hallway table, but now it was pulled slightly to one side, wrinkled like something had dragged across it. Maybe I kicked it the night before. Maybe I moved it without noticing. That's what I told myself. But something about it didn't feel right. The house looked exactly the same, but it didn't feel the same anymore. The second night was worse. The footsteps came back, earlier this time. I was already awake when they started walking down the hallway. Slow, heavy, almost dragging. They moved closer and closer until they stopped directly outside my door again. Then the handle moved, slowly twisting like someone testing the lock. I froze in bed, staring at the door. Then came 3 soft knocks. Not loud, just enough to be heard. Tap, tap, tap. I didn't move. I didn't answer. I just lay there listening to the silence afterward, wondering who, or what, was standing on the other side. The next day, I searched the entire house. Every room, every closet, every corner. That's when I found the attic. Hidden under layers of dust was a small wooden box filled with old photographs. A family used to live here. A man, a woman, and a little boy. The strange thing was the boy appeared in every photo, always standing in the hallway. The same hallway outside my room. In one picture he stood alone, staring directly at the camera. His expression wasn't smiling. It wasn't sad either. It looked more like he was waiting for someone to notice him. That night the footsteps didn't stay in the hallway. They entered my room. I heard them moving across the floor beside my bed. Slow, dragging steps circling me in the darkness. Then they stopped. When I stepped into the hallway again, the rug had shifted further down the floor, like something small had been walking across it. The trail led to the wall at the far end of the corridor, the same place the boy stood in the photograph. When I touched the wooden panel there, it moved. Behind it was a narrow hidden space inside the wall. I shined my phone light into the opening, and my stomach dropped. Inside the wall were bones. Small bones, curled tightly together in the darkness. The kind that could only belong to a child. The air around me suddenly turned icy, like the house itself was holding its breath. Then I heard it again, right behind my ear. Soft, patient, almost relieved. "Thank you for finding me." I spun around, but the hallway was empty, completely still, except for the rug, which began to shift slowly on its own, moving step by step toward the doorway. My heart hammered. I realized, with a chill that went straight through me, the ghost didn't just want to be found. It wanted me. And then, the shadows at the far end of the hallway began to stretch, forming the shape of something small, standing, waiting, coming closer. What happens next? I wish I hadn't stayed to find out.